wonder, let's see, I can stand and sit down. Let me, I know what I do. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, I like this. Back up a little bit. Just a tad. Okay. Hello, beautiful people. I hope that your week is off to an amazing start. So, there's been something that's been on my spirit, and I was like, all right, it's time for me to go live about this. It's time for me to share my story. And let me do one thing really quick. Okay. My phone, do not disturb. So, yeah, I was thinking, I haven't shared my story as far as like what really catapulted me into talking about feminine energy and being empowered in all aspects of your life, specifically in a romantic sense. So I was like, let me come on, let me talk to my girls, to my lovely ladies, and share my experience. So the question comes to mind: are you over spiritualizing dating? Why do you actually know? Of course, I ask because I myself definitely over spiritualized dating for a significant um, amount of time in my life. So I felt like you had to be certain that the person that you were entertaining or dating, that you could really see yourself walking down the aisle with that person. I felt like, he had to meet all these criterias. I had to pray about it. I had to hear God and fast and really try to essentially get it perfect before I could even entertain it. And so I would go on dates here or there, but there was a point where I felt like there was this gentleman that God said, "This is your husband." And baby, let me tell you, I waited for that to manifest. And that time span was probably about 7 years. 7 years of me waiting for this God spoken thing, this God spoken thing to come. Okay, sorry, the comments that I'm getting just don't make any sense. But anyways, hi Russia. Anyways, so 7 years of me waiting for this God spoken miracle to come to pass. So because of that, I found myself wanting to. All right, someone said speak louder. Thank you for that. Turn my volume up. Sorry for my hand. Okay, so because of that, I found myself wanting to get it right, not really entertaining other people, and waiting for the guy to realize the thing that God had told me for us to come together and form this beautiful union. Hi, Jesse. To form this beautiful union that God had spoken to me. And man, I remember telling people and friends, and some of them saying, well, just be careful. I don't want you to get hurt. And some people really encouraging the wait, trusting that I heard the voice of the Lord. And 7 years went by, so I found myself feeling anxious a lot and constantly praying, fasting, all of these things because I was going to show the world that I know God's voice, that I heard God, and that I was right, essentially, that God was going to bring us together. So if it meant, um, I used to like cook for him and just do these different things. None of what she asked for, but I just felt like I want to sign it. And God is leading me, and this is going to all come together. Well, time went on, and it did not come together. And actually, the guy ended up getting engaged to someone else who he eventually married. And the way I found out was him casually mentioned, because we weren't like throughout this time, we weren't always consistently talking. And one day I reached out and he casually mentioned his fiance, and I was like, oh my God, like he's engaged? Um, and then they got married, and it shook me. It shook me. And not just because I was in love with him. You gotta have some level of love to wait 7 years for something to happen. But not just because of that, but because I felt like I could really hear God. I feel like God was really speaking to me throughout this time. And there were some things that I saw, signs, if you will, confirmations from other people, or even like some dreams that came to pass. All of these things that felt like affirmations that this was going to happen. So when he got married to somebody else, I really questioned my ability to hear from God, and to really, you know, trust myself that he was talking to me. And that was hard. That was really, really hard. And at the time, God, placed or reconnected me with an old supervisor who was also a therapist. And she really walked me through the healing process, and talked to me about my part in the situation and what I was doing, holding back, expressing myself, all of that. And through that, breakthrough came. I started dating people. I started like just enjoying the process of dating, not trying to be so calculated, and make sure that he was at the guy I was with was at this certain level with God, like, but just really enjoying getting to know people with standards, of course, and just feeling freedom in my spirit to say how I felt, because that was another thing. Prior to this, I was holding in a lot, walking on eggshells, not expressing myself. Um, really kind of waiting for this magic thing to happen without wanting to put forth the the real effort that I needed to put forth. Conversations and questions and all of that. So when he got married, it forced me to look at myself to figure out what was going on with me that I waited that long, and to make a decision. How do I want what do I want my dating life to look like from here on out, and what is my part to actually getting married. So I realized that I had over spiritualized dating, that God was not going to strike me with a lightning bolt because I dated someone that it didn't end up in marriage. He wasn't going to chastise me for, not knowing for sure this was it, or this, not knowing for sure where, like, if the guy I was interested was at a certain level in God. Like, he wasn't gonna strike me for making a mistake. He was okay with that. So that's how I started to approach dating. And that is how I'm encouraging you to approach dating, from a stance where you get to meet people, you get to have fun, enjoy the process, and know that God is okay with you choosing who you want to be with. Now, there are people that are going to disagree with that, and I'm fine with it. I would have disagreed a few years ago. I would have said no. God can 100% speak to you, and if you just trust God and have faith, He'll do the thing that He spoke to you about. And I am not saying that God can't speak to you in this area. He does speak to us. Well, what I'm saying is that the way that we expect God to speak and the level at which we expect God to speak is a little bit more, I maybe lighthearted is the word, than we make it out to be. God gives us His word. His word is what allows us to measure character. His word is what gives us a roadmap for what we should look for, how we should feel, especially as women, how we should feel in a relationship. And that is what we take into our dating. What is this? Okay. That is what we take into our dating world, if you will, as we get to know people. So if I could leave you with three things, probably it's gonna be more than three, but three things that I want you to really hone on in and really keep in mind is one, you get to have fun. You get to have fun and enjoy the dating process. You get to have fun and enjoy getting to know different people. So let's say you feel like, you know what, I got my eyes on this person, it's gonna be that person. I would say, okay, because I dare not tell anybody that they're not hearing the voice of God. But what I would say is still get to know other people. Don't wait without movement and action. Live your life and trust enough to know that if you are supposed to be with that person, it will happen. You don't have to pattern your life after waiting for that person. So have fun with the process. Don't worry about, oh, hi. Don't worry about if you're messing things up, or all of those, that sort of thing. Like, if I do this, then I'm gonna forfeit. Forget all that. Have fun. Life will do what life is supposed to do. Get to know other people and enjoy the process. So that's one thing I would like for you to keep in mind. Another thing I want you to keep in mind is that you are not married until you're married. A lot of the times, we really we treat our significant other or even people that we're interested in as if they are already our spouse. But guess what, my love? Until there's a ring on your finger and that paperwork has been signed, they are not your spouse. So free yourself from feeling like you got to be tied down and to one person, and act as if you are single, because you are. Another thing I want to keep with you is that you, my love, are the prize. You are the prize. So let whoever you're interested in make you feel like you're the prize. If you start to question if you're doing something wrong, or if you're questioning if he sees you, if he sees you, thank you for that. Someone said you sound like a kind soul. You'll find someone. I appreciate that. God bless. So if you start to question, if you start to question your worth, if he sees you for your worth, and praying that one day his eyes will open, no, 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 no. You are the prize. Take a step back, reevaluate the situation and your approach to the situation, and make sure that you are only entertaining people that make you feel like the prize that you are. As women, we are meant to receive. I know that there's a nature about us where we want to nurture, and that's fine. But nurture in the right place. We nurture children, we nurture plants, we nurture ourselves, but our men are supposed to pour into us and love on us and make us feel protected and provided for. And if you're not careful, you can treat a man like he's your son, and he's not that. So allow yourself to receive and be in a relationship where you feel like you're receiving. Now, you might be thinking, and let me know, because I'm sure y'all thinking it, because I thought it too. Well, this guy, like, we're not in a relationship, so I can't have too many expectations of him, as if we are in a relationship. I will hold those expectations once we get into one. Well, guess what? Expectations start before you get into the relationship. And then his ability to meet the expectations are what you use to decide if you're going to get in that relationship. So, yes, have expectations in the beginning. If you know you're interested in someone and you're trying to figure out if they're interested in you, don't approach. I would encourage you, do what you want, but I would encourage you not to approach it like a friendship. Approach it like a dating situation and wait to see how he moves with you. If he's not moving with you in a certain way, free yourself to have fun and get to know other people. The masculine energy likes to pursue anyways. So if it's really meant to be, then it's going to motivate him to step his game up because he's going to see that you are loving life, you're feeling good, and you could be taken away. And if he's really interested, he's not going to want that. So don't hold yourself hostage to trying to see what would happen and, these things unfolding. No, you free yourself to get to know other people, have fun in the process, and know that you are the prize. So that is how you should be treated. The time goes on, and this does not motivate him, seeing that you're loving on yourself, being loved on by other people, knowing your worth and your standards, and he's still not coming, my love, you might be over spiritualizing this dating experience, and it's probably time for you to move on to another person. So those are the things that I learned, and those are the things that I want to give to you. Today, Chanel is free. Chanel has fun. I'm talking in third person. I know. But I have fun. I enjoy getting to know people and, not feeling like, oh my God, if he doesn't look like this, that, and the third, I'm not pleasing God. Like, I have made my mistakes. I have said what I wanted to say. Like, the bird is out of the cage, okay? Like, I am dating, and even if it's just one person, I still keep in mind that until I get that ring, you know, I am not married. So this is what I'm encouraging you to do. And I hope that my story is inspiring. I hope that it paints a different picture than what is often told, And I know what gets people to this point. We are taught to date intentionally in church. We are taught to seek God and to allow Him to lead us. And if we're not careful, we'll go to the extreme of that. You are not meant to be waiting on a man. That's just not how God intended things. This is not. And you are the prize. The Bible says that he that findeth a wife findeth favor. He finds favor by being connected to you. So anyone that's not making you feel like favor, you don't have to stay in that. So I just want to encourage you to have fun keep these things in mind. This is my story, this is my experience, and I might do a part two of this. Let me know if y'all want to hear more. But this is what I have learned, and this is where I am now. So I encourage you to have fun. I encourage you to know that you are the prize, and to keep in mind that you are not married until you are married. Love you, ladies. Enjoy your week. This was so fun. And thank you for all the kind comments. If you have any questions come up for you, let me know. I am an open book. Um, and we will just continue to flourish in our feminine energy. Bye.